Welcome to Cosmic Wishes, where we turn wishes into cosmic wishes by adding science. Today's guest is Caroline Biesalski. Welcome to Cosmic Wishes, where we turn wishes into cosmic wishes by applying science. And I'm very excited today to introduce you to Caroline Biesalski. I always say her name wrong, so hopefully she'll correct me. And I met Caroline a couple of years ago. And I've seen her evolve and her show evolve and how she's really making such a difference and things that are transforming in her life. And so it's fun to see all these changes and then also kind of introduce her to what I'm doing now, which is, of course, the Cosmic Wishes show and more. So Caroline, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, and then what we'll do is the typical process. We'll talk about your wish and wishing, and then we'll do some science cards and activity cards on your wish.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on your show. And first of all, I want to congratulate you on your decision to start your show. I remember we met 2 years ago, I think, and I invited you to the Inspired Choice podcast. And this is what I do. So, my name is Caroline, and I live in Lisbon, Portugal. It is amazing. So what I love to do is writing, doing podcasts, but my background in is in economics and psychology. I would say I'm a conscious business coach now. I studied it. I finished my doctorate last year, and I want to expand on that topic.
That sounds really great. So what we generally do is we have kind of three categories that just that usually wishes fall into. It could be a personal or professional wish. It could be what I call a wish that ripples, like a wish that has impact on others. Or it can be a whimsical wish, just something that feels like it's, completely impossible or crazy. And then all of a sudden we start realizing maybe there's more possibilities in the world than we think. And we can have fun with that. So we can do more than one wish, Caroline. But where would you like to start with? How would you like to word your wish to start?
Yeah, I chose my wishes for this show, and I would like to name them all three, and then we see where we where we go, where we are
Okay.
going. So the first one that came into my mind was my writing practice because I love to write, but and I have so many books in my mind, but I'm not started yet to continuously write every day, for example. So to set a goal, for example, for the week or the month, to accomplish pages or to evolve on that. This is the first wish. The
Okay.
second wish is to expand the audience of the podcast and also to focus on the Inspired Choice Foundation. Yeah, I created this foundation to help business starters. So this is the second wish. And the third one is the personal one, is to find a new apartment, a new home in Lisbon, Portugal. Yes.
Okay, these are going to be really fun. So, the first one about writing, and I think one of the things that's interesting about that, first of all, it just stating your wish out loud is sometimes all you need for people to go, well, I can help you with that. So I can help you with that. And I'd be happy to tell you what I've learned. I published 4 books last year. And I came out with a trilogy the year before that. I've only published one this year because I've been busy on this show, and that's the children's book, my Cosmic Wishes children's book. Shameless plug. But I've had so much fun. And that's going to be a series. Um, so writing. It what it sounds like, and we need to word it as a wish. And so I'm going to explain just for those of us or those who haven't heard this, and you and I haven't talked about this really, is the difference between a wish, a prayer, and a goal. Okay.
Mhm.
And really, basically, goals are things in our control. And prayers are usually for the things completely outside of our control, and we're asking for help from some other source or something. And a wish is this beautiful in between. And so I'm glad we're wording your kind of goal
Yeah.
and turning it into a wish. And then,
Mhm.
of course, we're going to apply the science to it. So the idea of and just for people listening to say, oh, I have this goal that I want to write more, or I want to do these, whatever this, learn this skill. It's great to have as a goal. I want to show, hopefully today, the power of what happens when you turn that into a wish and then turn that into a cosmic wish with science. Okay, so we're going to have some fun with that. The first thing is that a goal, like I was talking to somebody, they said goal is to lose 10 pounds or whatever. That is definitive, right? And you can set a plan for that. But there's the science says that when you turn it into a wish and you say, I wish to feel better. I wish to find foods that I love to eat that make me full and make me feel good, right? I wish to find activities that inspire me to do this. So for your wish, it's I would think that that to expand it, kind of pivot and expand, I call it an expansive pivot, is that you wish to love the writing and to love it so much that you find the time and you get energized and you feel good about it and you feel like it's part of your life.
Yes, exactly.
Doesn't that feel different though than just I wish to
Yes,
find the time, da da da. Like I wish to love it so much and feel that flow because I don't know if you've seen the Disney movie called Soul, but there's a scene where he's
yeah,
playing the piano and he is just so in that zone, right? And
yeah.
as creative people, we know what that feels like. So we kind of have this addiction, and that's what we should be tapping into. And so we're going to talk about science with that, but let's play with that one first and then maybe pull a science card. How does all that sound? You want to add anything or shift anything for what I said?
No, it feels better already to talk about that and to gain clarity about what we want to wish, so to
Yeah.
say.
And see how
Yeah,
that's different from a wish because one of the things that's also powerful about wishes and wishing is something I call cosmic collaboration, which means that, there's a goal you feel like, oh, I can do that on my own. And the cosmic collaboration kind of includes a little bit of the prayer so-called component, even though there's science in what we would call prayer, right? Or we may not, we may be praying, we may be very religious and praying to a deity, but we also may be just tapping into something that's a scientific definition that we don't have that definition for. Um, so that's why this expands it, right? I wish to feel this flow. I wish to feel this energy and this excitement for my writing. Is a good one. So okay, so I have hundreds of these cards. Do you want to have any idea which one you want to pick?
yes, in the middle.
Okay, like
Yeah,
here,
this one.
that one right
Yes,
there. I know it is
yes.
backwards, so that these are all in out of order. I feel like I've just got them all over the place. And so what you see is at the top is a science or the sciences, and then and there's an explanation, and then this is and then there's a title, and then I'm going to read the card.
Mhm.
And so this one is why looking up works.
Oh,
Okay. And
mhm.
it says the simple act of looking up changes your brain. Researcher Fred Prebick found that upward gaze activates dopaminergic, I hope I said that right, pathways linked to meditation, dreaming, and spiritual experience. The same pathways involved in religious awe across cultures. Your nervous system responds to looking up. So that's, the aspect when people are talking about prayer, just the physical aspect of looking up is what this is talking about. It says the same pathways and evolved in awe, religious awe across cultures. Your nervous system responds to looking up before your mind even forms a thought. This is why cosmic wishes ask you to look to the sky. Your tagline is the science. So my science is look to the sky and make a cosmic wish. So that's one of the things as far as making this wish. So how does that feel? Like, does that sound like anything that, you know,
Yes,
gets your
it
reaction to
feels
that?
right. I never heard this before, but it makes sense. There's also this song by Lauren Daigle, Look Up Child, and it has to do with religion, with God. of course, to look up.
Yeah.
And even, when we feel depressed or so, we look to the ground or we don't
Right. And
dare
the
looking
act of
up.
looking up, right? Just that physical act of looking up. And I always also say, this is just kind of a saying that I said, is when people say, oh, don't give up. And it's like, well, maybe giving up is releasing to a higher power, right? So
Yeah.
there is something kind of to be said for that. So, and the thing about wishing that makes it really powerful, Caroline, is that it usually surrounds around a ritual, something you can do every day. So I'm going to kind of challenge you and ask you if there is a time of day or specific prompt that might happen, whether it's a time on the clock or when you're brushing your teeth, something like that that you think you can use every day to remind yourself to make that wish.
Hmm. Yeah. It can be in the morning because I'm a morning person and I need my moments to enjoy my coffee and then I get to think. Yes.
Well, that's really beautiful. So then maybe your ritual is you've got your coffee and you
Mhm.
take a sip and you're looking up and you're making your wish.
I love that.
Just for a moment, right? We also
Mhm.
say that your wish should be peaceful, positive, and purposeful. And that can also fuel what you're doing because it's not just how it includes how you make your wish. Like, oh, and that would be so peaceful. Like, I've got my coffee. I feel so good. I'm in this moment. I'm going to look up and I'm going to make my wish that I feel inspired and energized to write and get in that flow. And then when you add purposeful and you know why you're writing, right? So it's getting beyond the you're just have a task to do. It is because you've got a message to give. You've got something you want to say, and there are people out there that want to hear it.
Yes, absolutely. And when I imagine the scene, I'm sitting by the window in the morning, then looking outside, enjoying the weather, the morning, the fresh air, then with a sip of coffee, as you named it, and then I make my wish. I look
That sounds
up.
beautiful. That sounds beautiful. So I think this is a really good kind of card and a good setup for you. And also just want to say anybody listening, what do you think about that? And do you think that could be a ritual for you and whatever it is, so that you can, in a way, be wishing along with Caroline, whatever that task is, whether it's writing or creative or, something that maybe you feel like you need a discipline, and I'm saying you need a motivation, and there's a difference, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so let's draw an activity card. So
Oh, okay. I take the last one.
the last one, like here.
Yes,
Okay,
like there.
okay, the very last one. Okay. And this one is also in the realm of spiritual metaphysical. So I don't know if that's where you wanted to be today, but that's
Yes.
going to. And this is what I call the 90-10 rule. And I'll be honest, this is not as much related to science as some of the other cards, but I feel like they're I feel like we're just tapping into an idea that science can study. And this says that you've done 90%. You've done your ritual, alignment, repetition, and you've made it fun. Now let go. Open the door for something to meet you. There's a movie called Hitch. I don't know if you've ever seen it with
Yes.
Will Smith. And there's a
Yes.
scene which is what inspired me for this, but there's a scene where he talks about kissing. And he says,
Yes.
when you kiss a woman, you move in 90%, but you never go the whole 100%. She has to meet you for that 10%.
Wow.
And so I think in a way that's a powerful application to our wish, is that allowing for that energy to meet us, allowing for
Yes.
those ideas, because especially when you're talking about something creative, that that there's like the way I describe myself when I'm in a creative mode is like I'm the specialized radio and I tune into a frequency, and then that's like it's out there for everybody, but I've got that radio that can find that frequency.
Yes.
And so that's another way of saying we're tapping into something beyond ourselves when we're being creative and asking for that and looking up. It so fits with the looking up, to recognize that. So it says, in the movie Hitch demonstrates this 90-10 rule in a kiss. Go 90% and wait. Similarly, the things not in your control might require some cosmic collaboration to get to 100%. Allow it. So that's your activity.
I definitely have to rewatch the movie. Thank you for the reminder, the inspiration, and that makes sense. So would you say it is like a bridge?
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, but you're building the bridge, but there's got to be somebody on the other side of the bridge to help you
Yeah.
cement that bridge. You can't build it all on your own. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just a way, especially like I said, with creative. One of my favorite quotes from Bob Dylan is he says, the song was already there before I came along, right? And
Yes.
I just wrote it down. And so on some level, when you're doing
Mm.
creative stuff, like that's when you're looking for that flow. I can go off on a tangent about how the brain starts working with your rituals and everything. But I think we'll see what pops up with your other wishes and do those and see if that all fits. So I don't have to fill in those blanks. But um, so how does that feel
Mm.
like, do you feel like I'll let you repeat your wish and tell me how you think what you're gonna do now for that wish.
Yes. So first of all, Bob Dylan wasn't it the guy who refused to receive the Nobel Prize for literature?
Right.
And that makes sense in through the perspective when you say it wasn't him, he just discovered the song or brought it to life.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and that is a really interesting perspective because there is an idea. I think when people talk about, oh, I've got imposter syndrome,
Mm.
um, because we know we're getting help. And we know we maybe didn't do it all on our own. And I just think one way to overcome that is to know, yes, but I knew how to get in that zone. I knew how to make the wish properly. I knew how to take my coffee and look up. I knew how I was the one. Writing that song down or whatever it is. So yeah, he is definitely the one that did that.
Yeah. So you
So
wanted me to repeat my wish and see how it feels? So
see how it
my
feels and just tell me like what you think you're going to do based on what you learned from your activities.
So I have a strong picture in mind now about me sitting with my coffee and staring at the outside in nature, for example. And then I look up, make my wish is about give me inspiration to write down some notes or some pages, some words to inspire others today.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It feels good.
I was going to ask how it feels. That's good. Okay, so
Really good.
your next one is related to your show and wanting to reach more people. This is the wish that ripples, basically. And I think that what I'd like you to do is share with the listeners because you have your foundation as well, right? And I think that I know your listeners probably know a little bit more about it than my new show, but it's more than just, oh, I want people to watch my show. This is a movement you're creating. This is an energy and a direction that you want for the world. So I don't want to diminish it by, well, I want people to watch my show. I want you to say, this is what you're trying to give, and this is how you want to reach more people.
Yes, I can tell you what the intention was behind the show, not just an inspiration to finally speak up and show guests, like inspirational guests as well. So I stopped watching the news 5 years ago, and I wanted to create a movement like a positive impact, positive news about people or biographies, and showing that to the world. Yes.
Yes, and then tell us a little bit about your foundation, what you're doing there.
Yes, the foundation is brand new. It's been over a year, but you know, all the processes and documentation and the ideas. And so it is about giving mentorships, like free or discounted courses, mentorships for business starters. Yes, because I
Nice.
had a business myself for 25 years in accounting company. And yeah, I started also from scratch, and I had to have information and mentors as well. So I want to give back.
So you're basically cultivating more people who are inspiring more people to inspire more people.
Yes, absolutely. To ignite and to, this with the candle when you when you light up another candle and the candle doesn't go out or burn out when you give your light to others.
That's
Really.
really beautiful. So let's word that wish with the purpose in mind. Okay. And I'm gonna let you try instead of trying it for you. How can you wish that to make it the mo feel like when you're saying it, it feels so good?
I would say the what I'm creating is the seed, is a seed, planting seeds in other people, and then it starts growing. So that means I want to plant seeds of inspiration and reach the people um, who are open to it.
Okay, so let's form that in form of a wish. Like I wish to.
I wish to inspire more people.
Okay. And that's really beautiful and simple.
Mm.
I'm gonna fill the end of it, which is I wish to inspire more people through my podcast and my foundation, just so we can be
Yes.
specific, right? I mean, it's already kind of inherent because wishing to inspire more people is that's your venue, right? That's your avenue to doing it, right? And reach more, right? It's not some people, it's more people. And so the bigger the audience, the more people watch your show, the more people that find out about your foundation, the more people that can become mentors to inspire more people.
Yes,
So
inspire others and transform as well to find new perspectives and then change something in their lives.
that's really beautiful too, because one of the things I do, and we'll see what cards come up, but one of the things I love to talk about is just the difference between like what you would want and what you need, and how to make it more purposeful and make that wish something that like like I think with the first wish, you like all of a sudden now you felt it. Like you feel that situation of looking up with your coffee, making that wish. That that you're going to feel good about making writing because of that, or you're going to feel in charge, inspired and charged up for that. So, okay, so let's grab a
A science card.
science guard.
I take the it is your left
Over here.
side, yes, and then the third card,
The third card from the left.
third
Okay.
card from the left.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's an easy way to pick them. Because it's like
Yeah.
it's hard because you're not necessarily looking at a specific thing. Oh well, this is this is apropos. This is in the sciences of what I have, storytelling and psychology. And you're thinking, is storytelling a science? And the answer is yes. I actually have a whole chapter in my book about the science of
Mm.
storytelling. And one thing that you know, because you know me from the past, is that I'm a storyteller that got interested in science. I'm not a
Mm.
scientist. And so understanding the power of storytelling I think is such a great framework for this whole wishing thing.
Yes.
And this one is wants versus needs. So it already kind of tapped into where I was going. I was like, I'm afraid to tell you something because it might just show up in your card. And this says, like Luke wanting adventure, but needing to find his purpose, or Elle wanting to marry Warner, but needing to stand on her own. Your surface wish and your deeper wish may differ. Psychologists DC and Ryan identified three universal needs behind surface wants: autonomy, competence, and connection. So I'm going to explain a little bit. When I say Luke, and I've said this before if you've ever seen me on a show or whatever, but Luke Skywalker started out and he said, "I just want to go out with my friends. I just want to leave this planet and go with my friends, right? I want an adventure." But what he needed was to find his purpose, right? And then what Elle is Legally Blonde. I don't know. Do you know that
Mm.
movie?
Yes, Reese
And she wanted to
Witherspoon.
marry Warner, right? I mean, like, oh, that's all she wanted at the beginning of the movie. And we all know that's not. what she should have been wanting. But that was the catalyst, right, to get her there. So that's what this says. I'm going to read it again and then I'm going to let you respond. Like Luke wanting an adventure but needing to find his purpose, or Elle wanting to marry Warner but needing to stand on her own, your surface wish and your deeper need may differ. Psychologists DC and Ryan identified three universal needs behind surface wants: autonomy, competence, and connection.
Now I understand because first, it's not my mother language, the English thing. And
Yeah.
the first word, autonomy, of course, it's one of my favorite words. And I understood anatomy.
Ah,
No, when you first read it, and I thought, okay, it's about the body. And
it's also
and
about the body.
yes, it all belongs together. But I love the connection thing because I'm connecting people as well through the podcasting and networking. I can refer people, or you refer people to me to be my next guest. So it's all about people, connections, and alignment.
That's really, really beautiful. And so and that's what one of the things that the reason I'm doing this show is because I do believe in the power of wishes and wishing. And also because I want your fans and followers and mine to hear you and say, I love what she's doing. I've got to look that up. I've got to learn more. I've got to figure out how that might be my wish too, is to participate and help and find ways to learn more about that. So we'll put all your information in the notes. And of course, your followers might know, but they might not know as much about you as you want them to. And so how can they help you and support you? And so that connection is so important because there are people, you never know who you're impacting. I have a quote from a song I wrote. It's like, we never know what impact we have while we are here. This world is so much bigger than this tiny little sphere. Right. And so you're making an impact, and hopefully your fans and followers are going to make comments and saying, yes, this is what I got from this. This is what you inspired me to do. And I hope, obviously, I like to hear from my peeps too. So um, let's do an activity.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay. We match it. But we did not talk about the needs and wants. It's
Oh,
interesting
you
because
want,
you
yeah, yes,
said,
I'm sorry.
no,
Yes,
you
please.
said it
No, please.
differs or it may differ. And it made me think about, is it really my purpose doing this foundation thing and the podcast, or is it only temporary? I don't know the word, but you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
temporary. Yeah.
Like, yeah, finite, something like that. Is it for a certain amount, like a project? And then it's over and I find the next one. What I really should do, like the needs, not the wants. Yeah.
Well, and that's why getting to, and I think that's what you were mentioning, and that's why I kind of glossed over it or zoomed through that, is the need that you have of connection. I think
Mhm.
that the base need of connecting with others and inspiring others, I feel like is the need behind all of it.
Yes.
It's not just a living or an income or it's a movement. And that may, as I was talking to somebody the other day, I said, I called it this expansive pivot. You may be in this direction and then you may kind of shift, but it may be even bigger and it open up. So you think you're going this way and can expand that. And so, um, what do you think? I put words in your mouth, but what do you think the basic needs are that you have from it?
Yeah, I did not see it that way before. Yeah, connection is the essence behind it, and my what I need, what I want to express by that. Yeah. And we cannot connect the dots looking forward. We know this only looking backwards. So we will find out later, like
Yes,
one year
and you
from
know what's
now.
motivating you, right? I mean,
Yes.
that's a big part of it. I have a whole huge, kind of double chapter on the whole concept of the science of motivation and why we're motivated to do certain things.
Yes.
Um, and maybe when you're making your wish in the morning with your writing and your coffee and you're looking up, maybe we can add this to it, and also maybe also ask for that kind of guidance of getting clear and every day getting clear about the need behind the wish. And it's so it's not just the want, it's the need. I'm about to
Mhm.
launch a cosmic wishing class where people can take their wishes and go through an 8 week, because the neuroplasticity science is 8 weeks is the way to retrain your brain. And I've got a couple 2 weeks dedicated to the whole concept of motivation and what wants and needs, and also the whys, like getting really deep into the whys. Um, so that's something that's in my brain. We're going to hopefully launch that soon. But so yeah, maybe that is. I feel like you already have a really strong need behind it. Maybe there's just more for you to explore. I don't know.
Yes. Hmm. To gain clarity, to expand on that, to continue, not to give up. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and
think
to
so.
continue, it's also very similar to your first wish, which is that you're in that flow. You're feeling the flow that's going to guide you to the right energy, and that you'll feel that extra 10% can also be, you know, and ask that you have. It's like, okay, and there's so much you can do. Where's the cosmic collaboration that's going to take it to the next level?
Mm. I'm ready for the 10%
Yes, yes. Well,
to
and
arrive.
let's see I don't want to, like I said, I was starting to talk about wants and needs, and then all of a sudden now I'm here and then I draw the card, so I didn't have to.
Yes.
And there are literally hundreds of cards, so I never know what that.
Wow.
So
We need an activity now. Okay, we take one from the middle. In the
just
middle?
like there.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this one is in the realm of neuroscience and psychology.
Okay.
And it says break a routine. So this one just says take a different route, brush your teeth with the other hand, eat something new. Breaking routines creates neuroplasticity openness or neuroplastic openness. Your brain becomes more receptive to new possibilities. And there's some really interesting science of that. Like you take a different route to work, and all of a sudden now you start seeing things that you didn't notice before. It's training your brain to look for opportunities.
Yeah, I can tell you what it was this week. So 2 days ago, we had I don't know if you call it strike, when people are not, the buses are not working, the trains, not the public life, or I don't know,
Yeah.
the hospitals, or here in
When people
Portugal.
say,
We,
yeah, that they
yeah,
want more benefits or something like that,
yeah,
so they don't work. Yeah, that's a strike.
was
Yeah.
the whole country. So I could not go where I wanted to go. And I decided I will walk. And it was like 2 hours walk, but I saw different corners in the city. I've never been before. So it also inspired my brain.
Yes. Yeah. Great
Really.
example. Great example. So now that sometimes that, this people can get like, okay, you're getting into the woo-woo territory. But I also think there's brain science here as well that's saying that you're given these opportunities to break routines. And we're like, no, I don't want to break my routine. I don't want to have to do that. Those might be gifts. And certainly, even if you don't believe they're necessarily gifts from above, they are still gifts because you can take that opportunity and go, okay, wait a minute, things are different today. I don't have my routine. Instead of complaining, let's look for the opportunity in it.
Yes, I love that.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Hmm.
So that's any other, do you want to repeat that wish now? Do you have any kind of, did it evolve any since we did your activities?
Okay, what I do is I inspire more people by my podcasts, books, and foundation, and by breaking the routines and looking for opportunities in new areas.
That sounds good. And then you'll keep reminding yourself of what is it you need so that you're guided towards your needs and not your wants, right? Because
Yes,
one of the examples on wants and needs that I like to do is people say, "Oh, I wish to have this fancy car," and the need is, are you going to be happy with that card the next day? I mean, does it really matter? And generally, no, right? What you needed was recognition or validation, or you felt that like you needed to be competitive with your neighbor, or you wanted to impress the girl, or
Yeah.
whatever the answer is, right? So that's what Nick can do. And I think that's an interesting transition. I don't usually draw three cards and go through three wishes, but I think that it'll be fun to look at your one about a place to live,
Mm.
because I'm going to be transparent. I want the same thing. I don't know where that's going to be, so I don't have a city even in mind. But I'm still in this place of like I'm in a hotel for those who
Oh,
follow
wow.
anything I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to live. I've been moving from place to place a lot, and do know that the thing I do know for myself is that until the time is right, until the conditions are right, I will be guided when the time is there. It will happen for me. And my goal-oriented friends are like, no, you got to decide and go where you want. I'm
Mm.
like, the whole point I'm trying to learn in this part of my life is to know how to be guided toward that energy when the time is right. And in the meantime, really being, even though I know this isn't where I'm going to be long term, being really content with the things that I do appreciate about what I have now. And so there's my little personal addition to this. But that's the third wish, right? Is to find a really great place to live in Lisbon.
Yes, I really feel what you are saying. Me too. I moved 4 times last year in the last 12 months, 6 months to, but within Lisbon here.
Oh, wow.
And so I already know the city or yeah, it's Portugal. And also 2 days ago, I was visiting a new area to live by the river. They are constructing or building new apartments. So I went there. But I also feel, and I had a conversation with my best friend yesterday, and that when the time is right, it will show up. So I have to be confident, and there's divine timing as well.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And it is interesting as you're kind of going through that whole exploration of where to live. And I mean it's just now I feel like okay, I do have enough signs that I've got to at least visit Portugal because I'd love to see you. And
Yes.
I have and two other friends, one a fairly recent one who lives there, and she's showing me pictures all around, and another one that has a place there. And like okay, I think it's calling at least for a visit, if nothing
Yeah.
else. And I've heard it's one thing I did research, you probably know this, but Portugal is number 6 in the world for English speaking.
Yes. So I refused to learn Portuguese in the first, I don't know, 12 months or so. I refused. I really said I get along with my English, and I also speak French and German, as you know. So three languages already. And I thought a fourth one is too much. I don't want to learn it. And I did not know if I would stay. So I made the decision now then that I will stay. And I signed up for a Portuguese class in person with the teacher. For I'm there for 3 weeks now, and it feels right.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that's good. Yeah, I'm super, total transparency, but I'm super intimidated by the language thing. Whatever synapses that were in my brain, because I spoke fluent Italian in college, and then I moved to Italy for a while, and I was like, and I literally hundreds of hours trying to relearn it, and it just didn't work. Now I know that if I was somewhere and or in a relationship or in a business situation or something with people are all speaking another language, then I would have had the practice I needed. But it was hard. So yeah, that is an intimidation for me. That's something that's maybe I could wish to be better at languages, and maybe I could that the cosmic collaboration will happen. But anyway, so let's do another set of cards.
Okay, we will find the apartment. It has to be the first card from your left
This one.
side. Yes, this one.
Okay. Okay. And again, these are all out of order. This is number 19, just for people who want to know. Like
Mm.
you're not, you pick the first one doesn't mean you're picking number one.
Yes. It's
And
not the
even
first.
when I design them to be very random in numbering. So it's not like, oh, the first 10 are this kind of category and the next 10. And this one's very simple. This one is psychology in the realm of psychology, and it's progress tracking. What gets measured gets improved. Tracking creates feedback loops that reveal what's working. So very, very simple, really, for that wish in terms of, you know, keeping making a list of what you like and what you don't like. And this is me talking to myself too. Like I need to do this. And keeping track of like, okay, how do you feel here? How do you feel there? Where do you feel guided? Where do you feel the best energy flow? And where do you feel that collaboration coming? So, but tracking it. I'm working on, I haven't launched it yet, but for that class that I'm doing, working on something I call Ideas and Insights Tracker. And it's not for tracking like goals or measurements like that, but it is for ideas and insights. And there are two parts of the brain. One is, or the things that happen in the brain when you're making a wish. One is what's called the reticular activating system. And so when you make that wish every day, and you're gonna have to add this one to your daily ritual, is when you're making that, then you're gonna start seeing signs and signals of you'll meet somebody's like, oh, I live over here. This is what I like, or I'm going this way, or this opportunity opened up. And so the repeating the wish opens up those opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. So 2 weeks ago, I went to TEDx talk here, like people talking on stage, this
Yeah,
TEDx. But I
I did
was
a
not
TEDx talk.
speaking.
Did
You
you know
did
I did
this.
one? Yeah, last in
No,
April. Yeah. It's not out yet.
congratulations.
I
I
don't know
love
when
it.
people are going to watch this,
Oh,
but yes.
not out. So I went there for the whole day and I met a realtor. And she said, yeah, she's responsible or in charge for the new apartments over there. I went 2 days ago, to see the place. Yeah, it was really good. So these are signs or
This is
responses from universe
from the
to my
universe
wish.
or your brain or whatever however you want to define it, that we are being guided, whether it's internally or externally or all of the above or some combination. So let's do one activity and then we can,
Okay,
some of these are
we
backwards.
take
I mean, like they're all some,
backward.
the numbers on one side so you can see where there's, if you see a little black box, that means that's the number, but
Yes.
these are
From
missing.
your right side,
Okay.
please, the fifth one.
The fifth one. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this one is psychology, neuroscience, and biology. So
Okay.
and this one is kind of funny. And we'll see if you do it. It's called the wish dance. And it says,
Oh,
put on a song and move your body as if your wish has already come true. So you're celebrating this new place you're going to live. Play and embodied movement bypasses the inner critic and activates the inner self.
I love it. I will do this, not on camera.
No worries.
No, I
But
have to
yeah, so
choose the
yeah,
perfect
imagine that.
song.
Like find a song that really feels like the place, and who knows what could guide you related to that, but something where it make you want to dance. I
Yes.
was in a group this learning to do better public speaking, and and I was like, well, somebody says, "How are you doing?" And I said, "The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades." Do you remember that song? There was a song
No.
called "The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades," and so and then they played it at one of our meetings like this, like okay,
Wow.
this is a fun song. It's just a whimsical 1980s song, and I'm
Mm.
dating myself, but it is, music is powerful. It can make us happy and make us feel like okay, this is what I'm going to feel like when I get that place, and I'm going to love it, and I'm going to savor it and enjoy it.
Yes. And then I dance in the kitchen.
Dance in the kitchen. That's right. And then dance when I come visit.
Yes, please. And we drink some coffee in the morning
We drink some
or in the
coffee in the
evening.
morning. We look up, we make our wish, and we
Yes,
also show our gratitude for our wishes coming true. So
absolutely.
this is great. So how do you feel?
I feel inspired now. Oh, I learned so much. So we had Hitch, the movie, then what was the other one? Legally Blonde.
Legally
Oh,
Blonde, and
yeah.
because I love, as a storyteller, I like bringing in the stories, and Luke from Star Wars. So we
Look.
covered all of
Mhm.
that for the wants and needs,
And the song. We got
and
the
the
song.
song. Yeah, yeah. We got all of them. And what we do, by the way, just for people to know, is I do have you go to my website and you can download. I have a little, it's not a worksheet, it's a play sheet, right? So it has to be fun. But I'll have these cards on a sheet that you can take your notes and you can use for your own wishes.
Mm,
So,
I love that.
so yeah, we'll offer that to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being with me. You
Oh,
have anything else you want to
oh.
say before we say goodbye?
Mm, thanks to all the listeners. Yes, I hope we were inspiring for you. And if you want to get in touch, yes, please write an email to Brownell. She's
That's right.
amazing.
Or make comments
Wow.
or on our YouTubes or however you want to do it. But we want to hear. We want to hear from people. That's important.
We
That's
want
the
to
only
hear
way we
your
know if we
wishes.
inspired. That's my wish.
Yes, I
Okay.
love
Well,
it.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Want to learn how to make cosmic wishes yourself? Maybe teach others? Comment below for information about our Cosmic Wishes class.